So the question that has been posed is about two people who have £700. One's called Andrew and one's called B. I'm just going to refer to them as A and B. And what you don't know is what amount they start with. So what I'm going to say is that A starts with X amount of money and B starts with Y amount of money. Now, what I do know is that A spends 3/5 of the money, and that would mean that the remaining amount is 2/5 of the money. B spends 2/3 of her share with the remaining 1/3 of her share. And I know that the remaining bit for A and the remaining amount of money from B adds up to £270. So in other words, 2/5 of whatever A started with plus 1/3 of whatever B started with equals 270. I also know that there's a start equation that I can use, which is that whatever A started with plus whatever B started with, which is X and Y, equals 700. So I've just copied those equations over onto the next page, and what this is simultaneous equations, and this is not a year 6 sort of stuff to do. So I just moved the equations down and I've numbered them 1 and 2. Now, for those of you who know how to do simultaneous equations, we're after some sort of position whereby we can subtract either the x from the x or the y from the y and get rid of that variable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply equation 1 by 6 and equation 2 by 15, and I end up with these two equations. 6x plus 6y equals 4,200, 6x plus 5y equals 4,050, and I am going to subtract. If I do that, I'm left with y equals 150, which is £150. If I then substitute x or y back into the equation 1, which is x plus y equals 700, I end up with x plus 150 equals 700. That means that x equals 550. So just to recap on everything, A spent 3/5 of the amount of money with a remaining amount of 250, and we now know that A started off with £550. B spent 2/3 of the money with a remaining 1/3. We know that the start amount of money for that person was 150. If A spends 3/5 of 550, then she spent £330 with a remaining 220. And if B spent 2/3 of £150, which is £100, she will remain with £50. Thanks for watching.